When you stop giving an FUCK of whatever it is you're trying to manifest, guys, that completely changes everything. Okay? But I know some of you guys are probably wondering, okay, well, how do I get into that state? Right? Because I remember when I just started getting into law of assumption, or rather, even before I started practicing manifestation, I always noticed that whenever I cared so much about something, that is usually when I never had success. If I cared too much about getting a text back, I would never get the text back. If I cared too much about when I was going to publish a video, then I would not get any views, right? But isn't it something that the moment that you just stop caring is finally when you see the results? And it's always when you're not looking, right? Well, how do you step into that? Well, you got to understand the way that stepping into a state begins. You got to understand all about what shifting states is. You simply go into your mind the same way that when somebody asks you, hey, do you remember that dolphin that we saw at SeaWorld the other day? The way that it went, and you're like, oh yeah. You're not fucking feeling the splashes of the water, but you definitely remember the right? Well, the same way that you can access that information is the same way that when you ask yourself, what would it be like to not give a fuck? Whatever pops up, that's your answer, right? Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to say, well, I've always given a fuck. So how do I get there? Well, for one, there might be some people who can say that about other states, but about the state of not giving a fuck, I call bullshit. Because whether you are an extremely highly anxious person or whether you are somewhere in the middle, I guarantee you there is something, at least one thing in your life that you are kind of indifferent about. Okay? Just one thing. Whatever it is, think of that and access that state. Okay? And you're going to find that there's really nothing to it, really. You're going to find that there's just simply nothingness about that state. Okay? And when you remember what it felt like to not give a fuck about, like for me, I could give two shits about golf, if I'm being honest with you. I'm sorry if you're a Tiger Woods fan, ladies and gentlemen, but putt for, thank you. Like, fuck off, okay? I could give two shits, right? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. There's parts of it that I'm just kind of like, okay. But if someone was to be like, dude, we missed the Masters, I would rather masturbate than watch the Masters, okay? So when I think about golf and how I not give a fuck about golf, I don't have to try to not give a fuck. I just don't, right? And when you compare my behaviors for how much I give a fuck about golf compared to how much I give a fuck about the UFC, like at the time of me recording this video, we just came back from one of the craziest, if not the craziest, sporting events of all time. The UFC 250 out on the White House lawn. Okay? I mean, there was some fucking things going on in my 3D prior to that, but when I knew that the fucking fight was coming on, I was like, I don't give a fuck if you run over my okay, well, let's not get demonetized here. But I just wanted to see the fucking UFC fight. But if someone was going to tell me that, yo, we got you tickets to the fucking mass, I would probably fucking sell those motherfuckers. Right? All right? So you better hope that I get tickets if you're a golf fan. So, in comparison, when it comes to golf, I mean, I could not be bothered. But when it comes to UFC, I mean, my fucking body is all excited. You know, I'm happy. I'm talking about it all the time with my friends and family. It's great, right? Well, it's not fucking difficult, guys. When you really think about something that you don't care about, it's not really difficult to step into that state when you just see the difference in your behavior. So, I mean, I shouldn't even have to fucking set these past 3 minutes in this video, right? But you know damn well that when you don't give a fuck about something, you're not even thinking about it. Like, as a matter of fact, as the time of this video, I don't even think I fucking thought about golf since like the fucking 70s, bro. It's been that long. It's been crazy. It's been long, right? But in all seriousness, folks, we know what it feels like to not give a fuck about something. Okay? So, if you can access that imagination, then occupy that state when you are trying to not give a fuck about a text message coming in from your specific person, a job interview, right? But I'm telling you, when you can master this, the world will become your oyster. Because you look at the most successful people, you look at all the times in your life where you just were, I mean, you were just going 100% from the field, you know what I mean? Goal after goal, you know, shot after shot. I mean, you know that came from you not caring. You know that came from you not putting so much inertia behind every single action, right? And like I said, I know some of you are going to be like, no, like I'll talk to some people and they're like, no, I mean, I've never felt happy in my life, so I can't even go to that state. It's like, you never were even happy to like take a shit when you were holding it in for like 2 hours. Like, come on, guys. All right, this is not hard. Let's not put these fucking emotions on a fucking pedestal, okay? Your emotions are your bitch, okay? Everything is accessible to you. If you've never been laid, you can fucking get laid up here, guys, okay? And if you've always given a fuck, you can still stop giving a fuck right now. Every state is accessible to you, okay? Everything. Every state. Okay? Look me in my eyes, guys. This is serious business, folks. We're not playing, we're not messing around here. Okay? I'm done with this shit of us making excuses. Okay? And I've been there. I get it. I know I'm the most sexiest manifestation coach on YouTube. I understand. I know you're like, well, it's easy for you to say hot shot. But, guys, let's just think for a second here, okay? You know damn well that the person in the room who is completely in his own little world is the most magnetic, is the most attractive, is the most sexiest, is the one that gets what he wants, even without trying. And look, I'm going to tell you this right now, okay? You want to talk about not giving a fuck? I remember one day when I was opening at the restaurant, okay? I did an opening shift. I did a 5 to 2. I have this habit of lusting for women. Shocker, right? I love me some tits. I love me some ass, right? Let's just be real here, okay? I'm a man, okay? Look, I'm sorry, but I mean, I see Latinas, I see, beautiful white chicks, I see all ranges of beauty at a restaurant that makes almost 20K a fucking day, okay? So one day I was working the drive-through window because my fucking asshole of a cashier decided not to show up, fucking dickwad, and I was like, fuck, because I'm a manager there, right? But I was like, fuck, I'm gonna just do these orders, right? I mean, this shit is like, I can do this in my sleep. I was literally sleeping because I did a fucking morning shift, right? So your boy's over there at the window, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you, like, it can get kind of stressful sometimes when you're at the window and there's a hot chick right there and you're trying to act all casual, trying to act all alpha, and then you're scanning her card and she's just there watching you, and you're like, oh, what if a fucking booger just erupts from the volcano and now it's like scarred for life, right? Well, on top of that, I have this habit of whenever I see a hot woman, there's like this thing where I am looking at her and I'm afraid that she's going to catch me admiring her beauty, right? And then on top of that, there's just another part of me who's just so overly concerned, like I said, thinking that if she's going to see a booger come out or, how does my hair look or whatever. Like right now, there was a hot one right here sitting next to me as I'm making this video. And of course, I could see that through the peripherals that she was looking. She's like, oh, what's he doing? But hey, sweetheart, daddy's trying to fucking film. Can you please stop? All right. God, dude, they're fucking everywhere, dude. Jeez. We'll do the autographs later, all right? Come on, baby. Either ways, okay? Another thing is just being totally aware of them looking at me, right? And do I look hot enough? Do I need a peacock? And one day, that day, I started doing this technique where I just respectfully make eye contact with a woman if I have to, especially if it's a customer, because I'm not just going to be like, okay, 1095. I'm going to be like, 1095. And then after that, I don't give a fuck about eye contact. I don't give a fuck about my peripheral visions. After that, she's dead to me. Okay? I just simply talk to her if I need to, out of respect, out of politeness, and then we're done. I swear to the heavens above, and I made a success story on my membership channel about this, but I said so many fuck bombs in there, like right at the beginning, that I couldn't put on the public side, and your boy's not going to edit. So there was like 3 smoking fucking gun show of women that showed up. One of them was a Latina, she had the cute little lips, she had the eyebrows, all that shit. I did the whole, 1095, and out of my peripheral, she could not stop fucking looking. And of course, when I had to hand her the bag, I noticed that she was fucking smiling. Not because, I try to keep the rule, not to look, not to, they're dead to me, yada, yada, yada. But when I was handing her the bag, obviously I could tell that she was fucking staring at me, and my eyes drifted back to her, and boom, big ass fucking smile. She has her fucking bag in the car and she's still looking. Fucking Obsession Nikki style. Right? Then after that, I have like this really cool, sexy hipster chick where you could just fucking tell that if you were to meet her at a coffee shop, she would be fucking with the ukulele, just like bring, bring, and glasses, you know what I mean? Beautiful eyes, but of course I only saw them because I fucking looked at her the first time, right? I said, hey, how you doing? Then after that, I tried to avoid her, right? And I get it. By the way, this sounds like manipulation, okay? I know what you guys are thinking, right? But it was less, I saw it less as a manipulation tactic, and I get it. Some in certain ways it can be seen as a manipulation tactic, and it very well could be, right? But if you go at it from the state of I'm disciplining myself because I know that whenever I look at women, I constantly am looking for validation from them, then that's when I think you got to discipline yourself. It's the same thing like with your phone. Like there's nothing wrong with not texting somebody back. right? You could be doing it as a manipulation tactic, but if you are doing it from the place of, I'm not going to do it because I'm disciplining myself to not step into the state of lack, that's a different story. So that's what I was doing, because I always knew that when I was looking at women and I was handing them the card, I would be looking, I would try to, oh, should I smile at this time, to see if I can get a validation from them. Like, oh, they'll smile back. And then they don't smile back, and I'm thinking in my head, oh, fuck, they don't like me. So I just decided to keep it polite, and then after that, just allow whatever happened to happen naturally, right? Well, that's what I was doing with the first Latina chick, and then this second hipster girl with the ukulele, right? I had to wait for the order, right? Because my fucking line was taking fucking forever. Because, of course, we're always running out of fucking eggs and shit. So I'm waiting, and I'm helping them get the bag. And then at one point, I have to ring something up right next to the window where she's at. And the window's open, and she starts fucking, so how's your day going? Out of nowhere, bro. And I'm talking head turned away, right? Then when it's time to finally give her the order, I hand her the order. I said, okay, have a nice day. And then she says, you too. And she does the same exact freaky Nicki obsession thing like the Latina chick. I'm talking like driving away, still looking. And I'm just like, bro, I think I just cracked the code to the universe. Now, what really happened, guys? Because I've tried this before. I've tried this after, and it didn't work. A few times afterwards. But why? Because the other times I was like, ooh, this is a cool technique, bro. This is, and I use it as a technique, right? But the first time it was so fresh that it worked, because I literally was trying to discipline myself, because I was just so pissed, because I think that week there was some moments where I was feeling some resistance on the SP front, right? And I said, you know what, I'm done with this whole seeking of approval, of validation. And I haven't done it since. It was like a couple of weeks ago. But I'm going to go back to doing this, because I still notice that there's this innate habit where if I see a hot chick, and this is Texas, so there's not a lot of clothing, okay? It's definitely not jackets and sweaters, okay? It's definitely not ponchos and warm-ups out here, okay? Let's just put it to you that way, okay? So you see them, you're going to fucking see them from a mile away, right? I mean, us men, we got the sensors on, right? Well, I have the habit of just looking for the validation, like, oh shit, did she look at me? Did she smile back when I made eye contact? Did she look disgusted? Did she look away? All this stuff. But I'm telling you, like, the same way that I got results when I just stopped looking for the validation and stopped giving a fuck is the same way that you will get results for the money, for the physical appearance change, when you stop giving a fuck and checking the mirror every single time to see your abs move in, the boobs come in, the ass, right? Whenever you stop checking your phone for your SP to respond, that's exactly what's going to happen, guys. So you really need to step in, whether it's a technique like what I just said right there, where you're just polite, but then you stop making eye contact with them unless you have to, or if it's just you remembering or thinking of something that you don't give a fuck about and literally imagining you in that body of the not giving a fuckness when you are trying to not give a fuck about your SP text and the money, your bank account being in the negatives, whatever, right? Like, CEOs go through decreases in their funds all the time. They go through failures all the time. Right? Broken business deals all the time. Right? But they don't just crash out and then they give up right then and there. They know, well, I mean, this is a part of the business, but they know because they have so much money that it's okay, it's whatever. I'm not telling you to make stupid decisions financially. I'm not telling you to start telling everybody that you and your SP are married if that's not true in the 3D. But what I am telling you is that the same way that you don't give a fuck about golf is the same way that you can copy and paste that state into your current reality of the SP. Okay? Now, if you were not able to get anything out of this video and would like to go more in depth, guys, book a consultation with me. I would love to work with you. The links are in the description. I have daily affirmations, by the way, that a lot of people have been saying have been getting overnight results. They're called self-pedestalizations. They're affirmations on steroids. The links are in the description as well for that. And also join the membership channel for access to the next 2 months of videos, my friends. And also there's success stories on there, and you will get discounts to consultations if you're a channel member. All right. I love you guys. Take care.